Hi guys, it's me, and today I'm going to show you two things. Now I wanted to do the exposure test some time ago and I keep messing up. So I'm going to work on that one a little bit more as far as explaining how exposure works. I guess my back was really hurting me. I tried to do a retake and my back was just too incapacitated to do anything. So let's talk about exposure. Right now, the sun from the window is going to be coming in soon, and if I look at this meeting here, you'll see it's going to be brighter because the sun's coming in. Right now, it's complementing the video. So this is an exposure meter, and this allows us to get the exposure as good as possible. I'm still figuring out what the ISO of this camera sensor is. It appears to be about 200. So with that in mind, yeah, about 200. Set out for 6 and it says it's about 3.2. Okay. Actually, no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't? No, because if you go by 30 frames per second, it says it's about 3.2, so it's not exactly dead on accurate. I'm not going to go through and mince pizza pies with you over the detail. The second thing we're going to be testing today is the repaired Pyle. Now, I'm not going to take this thing completely apart. Please don't ask me to. You'll see we have our new cartridge assembly. I know it's made by a company that's fairly inexpensive. It is a cardioid microphone cartridge. It fits in there pretty well. I have tested this sensor off camera and not on public. We're going to test it on public right now. So hold on. Okay, now it's on. Now, the only thing I don't have hooked up right now is the switch. And that's only because the switch is a problematic thing for production. Because when you have a switch hooked up, it can sometimes get confusing, especially if the switch isn't operating properly. But what you can also hear is that there is no longer a hum. It's almost as sensitive as a SM57 microphone. I'm going to do some sweep testing because tomorrow we'll be getting the mixer. The mixer will be here. We'll be doing a video on the SM68 mixer. That'll be here tomorrow. And as you can hear, it works pretty good because I'm listening to the sound monitor in the studio and I can hear my voice sounds pretty clear. So, it's still got that new smell to it. It's almost like this thing has been totally rebuilt. It has been in the inside. It has nicely shielded twisted pair wiring. It has an isolation 1-to-1 600 ohm transformer. On the XLR side, it's wired as a balanced with a connection to a center tap, and on the element side of the transformer, it is wired as an unbalanced with no center tap connection. Obviously, you can hear it sounds pretty good. So now let me go ahead and put it back in the other microphone so that we can hear the difference. Okay, now you probably can sense that the SM57 is a bit more accurate and more powerful. It also costs a lot more money. Definitely does. Also on Michele's birthday, we're going to potentially get some snow. Nice birthday present. Nice birthday present for the snow queen, yeah. By the way, I want to apologize that Michele didn't get a really good video. Well, you wanted to try explaining my exposure, and I think you kind of blew it last time. So, could you briefly explain exposure again? If your camera is for best picture, ideal situation would be is you want to get just enough light so that everything looks balanced and doesn't look like everything, the highlights are blown out. For example, right now the sun is going to be coming this direction, and very soon the sun will be pretty much straight in her face. So when that happens, the camera is actually going to be overexposing. And so for that reason, we use our little meter here, and see that we know it's still pretty good. It's staying pretty close to where we want it to go. Michele, can you just give a demonstration, please? Demonstration. Okay. Right now this is exposed right. I had to open it up, but stop. Okay, now it's overexposed. Now it's normal. And now it's underexposed. And if you see it underexposed, the screen looks too dark. And if it's overexposed, the picture starts looking too light and everything looks overdone. And that is how exposure works. So you want to have your picture look just right. So I'm going to put it back to where it was. Or pretty close to it anyway. I'm going to check that right now. Make sure it's accurate. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so that's basically what you want to watch out for. So what the exposure meter does is it lets you, gives you an instrument that lets you save the guesswork. Because unlike the human eye, which is pretty easy to deceive, the meter is an electronic device. There are actually, historical sakes, there were meters that were actually all mechanical. How that worked, I can't really tell you. I don't know much about the technology for the all mechanical exposure meters. What I mean all mechanical is there was no electronic components in them. These were really more of turn of the century. They were turn of the 19th to 20th century. And they were, pretty much the way it was. So what I got to do is I already had to bring it down to stop because I already told you the sun is starting to come in the window. And so everything is going to start getting washed out. Because once that sunlight comes in through the window straight on to me on the camera, I'm probably going to have to turn the camera down one more stop. Yeah. Also, Michele was able to fix the back focus to make the lens calibrate the lens's measurements to match. So if it says, if we're in this case, we're about 8 to 10 feet away, Michele now has the back focus adjusted correctly. So now that she just can just set the numbers and she doesn't have to worry about watching the screen as much. Turns out that watching the screen for the critical focus is a pain in the ass. First of all, my camera does not have a viewfinder. For that, we've been using a computer monitor. So the whole idea of using a blind focusing makes more sense when you use it with a measuring tape. This is called, what's the process used to do back in the studios? That would be the job of the focus puller. The focus puller. Basically, think of a guy who walks around with a measuring tape, measures out exactly how far away a subject is from the camera lens, and then would go ahead and go back and dial the number into the lens. That was because the cameras back then were so big. 35mm and 65mm gauge cameras were so huge. You couldn't even physically really get around the girth of the body to turn the camera focus ring. So the focus puller was the guy or the gal, usually it's an intern or apprentice, that does the actual focusing for the cameraman. The cameraman can still kind of looks at the viewfinder, but he or she couldn't actually focus the camera lens. So that's what the focus puller does. Nowadays, with modern technology, it's less of a problem. Unless you're legally blind. Unless you're legal, okay, yeah, that's when you have to have your own focus puller. So, actually, let's talk about that. Okay, now, let's say this is a lens. This is a subject. If I know, for example, that the subject is a foot away, that's about a foot. That's about a foot. Okay. And then I would do is I would go back to the lens and I would turn it to a foot. That may not necessarily be accurate, but it would be pretty close. Providing that the camera is pre-calibrated back focusing ring is preset right. If the back focus ring is not set right, you're out of the game. Yeah, big time. Now, since Ed is away for the day, I get a chance to work on the studio, and I got a chance to enjoy some time to focus on fun stuff that we didn't get a chance to focus on last time. And as I said, tomorrow the Shure mixer is going to be here, so I'm going to be openly demonstrating that mixer as well. And Michele also wants to do a sweep test on these microphones. Could you explain what a sweep test is? A sweep test uses a tone generator and a VU meter, and will actually allow me to graph where the signal is as far as dBs go, because I don't really know exactly how efficient or how good this element is. I can tell you it sounds good, but I can't tell you any more about it than that. Right, and we want to compare it with the other thingy that's this over here, this microphone over here. We want to compare. So why can't we just put two microphones in a dual stand like this, and then hook up a second XLR cable, and then hook up the mixer to that, and then we could do that. Except I don't have a second stand. That wouldn't say that's entirely true. Yeah, now you remember. The ring, yeah. So what you would do then is take this microphone here and put it into here. Yeah, but it doesn't really even land right though. Doesn't even have, it's not even right on. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The idea is that it does matter for what you want to do. If you want to precisely measure the signal performance of two different microphones, it matters. Okay. Let's just try. I know. Still, it's a good try though. Very good idea. But on the other hand, why couldn't you do something similar to that and just put this microphone clip and then just take some duct tape or something, because even then the microphone element here is higher than this one. Then just gently elastic the two microphones next to each other, and then you could do that too. Yeah. What we're gonna do is really do something a little more scientific. Okay. At about a centimeter from my iPhone, we have a signal generator on my iPhone. We're going to put both microphones about a centimeter from the earpiece. The iPhone will be turned all the way up, and we'll generate a 1 kilohertz tone, and then we'll set the mixer to 1 dB output. So in other words, the needle will be right there at the 1 dB or 0 dB. Okay. And that will give us a baseline when the signal is at maximum modulation. And that will also allow us to preset both microphones so that they're equal. That isn't going to affect sensitivity now. No, but it may give us an idea, because we do then is once we know, for example, if we see on the Shure mixer, let's say the Shure microphone is at 5 and the Pyle is at 7, then we know that at the 100 kilohertz tone, then the 1 kilohertz tone, and we know that the sensitivity, the Shure has higher sensitivity. I think it does anyway. I think it does too. Okay, so now this microphone is nice. You turn a $10 piece of crap into something that works nice. Yeah, that was objective. Totally all new parts. No, not quite all new. We still have the old switch in here. It's just not hooked up. See? Oh. See? Still makes a clicking sound. So we can still hear if we're using it as a cue mark, we can still hear it. Yep. So, and it does work. So that was a plus. That was the objective. Now, anyway, we're going to be, as I said, we're going to be getting some significant snowfall on my birthday. And I don't know how much that is yet. I got to find out. I'm curious. Yeah. I wonder exactly what the weather service calls significant. I guess they didn't think 30 centimeters of snow was quite significant. Well, they did say it was a lot. They did say it was significant, but not significantly significant. Whatever. They always come up with something new. Always coming up with fancy terms. Why they couldn't at least give us an approximation is beyond me. Probably because they couldn't really figure it out yet. They have, it's 3 days away from now. So we'll obviously know closer till we get to it. Now, also, Michele, what is your plans for the next few days for the you ever gonna get outside and do videos outside with the setup? I am thinking about it. Okay. But the problem is I either have to have an iBook or PowerBook, or I have to have a portable VCR. Okay, portable VCR, or maybe a portable Pyle video monitor with a built-in VCR in it. Yep. Okay, that would work, but you still have the preamp microphone. Wouldn't the Shure M68 be good for that? Yes, because it can run on batteries. It can run on 3 9-volt batteries. I don't know how long it would run on them, but it says in the manual that it can run on 27 volts, which is the voltage of 3 9-volt batteries in parallel. Series. Yeah. Okay, so series, you could have 27 volts, which should be fine for running the thing. And then we would just have to power the monitor. We could power that off of the same battery that runs the camera. Okay. Yeah, you could do that, I suppose. But let's be honest, the camera is going to suck power like there's no tomorrow. Actually, the camera doesn't suck much. No. I think it uses, hardly anything. It uses, 4/10 of a watt. 4/10 of a watt. Okay, so, really nothing insignificant. But the poor Mac is not so efficient. It takes 12 watts. It takes about 12 watts because I don't think an iBook or PowerBook is going to be providing 12 volts DC to the gear. So you're probably right, Lynn. You're probably going to have to consider that the 6-pin Firewire connection is probably not going to be providing the 1 amp necessary to run the 4 Mac. I got AC adapters already. But we're talking about going portable for outdoors on a battery shoot. So that means you need an inverter or you need more cables to connect all this gear together. That's a summer project. I agree with that. I agree a camcorder would be cheaper, lighter, easier, and I think that would be where I go. Well, we could use the iPhone too. Yeah, that's true. We could use the iPhone. The only thing now with the iPhone is we need a new microphone bracket. iPhone bracket so that the mic so we can put it on the tripod. Yeah. Okay, and then of course you need the iRig adapter so you can plug in these microphones into the iPhone. So that's about it for right now because the sun is still not in the house yet, but it's going to be here soon. And I'm going to be doing some more testing on this microphone too. Not today. We're going to test more of this and see how this works professionally using diagnostic tools. And already I know from listening to it yesterday is the hum is gone. It's gone. The hum is gone. In fact, this picks up a little more hum than that one. Probably because of the way all the connections are wired in this place. And as you can hear, the cats are running around. They're having a good time. Like always. Okay, so as you can see, we got a lot closer today thanks to the focus ring on the camera, and the fact is that we were able to get closer. Now you can see all our skin imperfections. It's true, though. It's true. Yeah. Anyway, Ed is away for a few days, so I got a chance to get some things in that I couldn't get in when he was here. So, looking like I got a lot of things going on. Got a lot of fun things going on, too. Yeah, at least my back doesn't hurt today. Yeah, you wrenched it last night when you got up on the wrong side. Yeah. Alright, and by the way, for those people who are wondering why our videos sometimes seem so silly and sometimes our videos seems as dry and exciting as old leaves, it all depends on my mood, and me and Lumi sometimes like to have fun too, and you want to get a video into. Yeah, but I don't know, I mean, we just did this one. My video only has 2 subscribers on it. Yeah. So, again, I'd like to remind all of you, please like, comment, and subscribe. And that's for both me and Michele. Our channels are different. Mine's a tiny URL because YouTube gave me this funky, long tag. I can't remember if that's what made it into a tiny URL. It is http://www.tinyurl.com/LUMIFINISTRA. Just go there and then it'll bring you to my YouTube channel so you can like, comment, and subscribe on my videos. And of course, if you want to send my videos to my channel, if you're seeing this on my channel, or if you're not, if you're watching this in one of the many places, it is www.youtube.com/USCR/BICHELA4. And of course, our email address for me is BICHELA3@gmail.com. And for Lumi, it is LUMIFINISTRA@gmail.com. And we're both on Google+. Yep. And I'm also on Facebook. Yep. She's on Twitter. I'm on Twitter. I'm also on Blogger. That's right. She has her own blog page. Her own blog page. And so I just wanted to let you know that I'm still experimenting with things we talk about. And as I said, I did not forget about the tutorials that I'm going to be doing. I just got to figure out the best way to demonstrate them and not making you feel like you're going to snore through the lesson. Oh, can I make a suggestion? What? Please, this is for any video. Please do not shoot it like you're shooting a photograph where a picture is this way, unless you're going to fill the other 2/3 of the frame with something else. Right. In other words, no vertical video syndrome. Right. Okay. I mean, if you want to do portrait, if you want to make it look like the Dallas intro, that's fine. But then you better put 2 other shots on either side of you or whatever. That's an idea. Yeah. If you've got the technology, you've got the skills, do it. Do it. Yep. And also for another thing too is try to keep your videos less than half hour if you can. That applies to us too. Yes, it does. I think you already went over. I think I went over. All right. Talk to you later, guys. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.